Welcome to Education in Focus. I'm Eliana Kernodle. The White House announced the Presidential AI Challenge, a new initiative to unite innovation and education. Joining me to tell us more about this is the Center Square's education reporter, Esther Wickham. Esther, can you just give us a little bit of a sense of what this challenge is?
Yeah, thanks, Eliana. So, the Presidential AI Challenge is essentially a project to encourage young students, K through 12, youth, as well as educators and mentors within the education system to really integrate artificial intelligence and the rise of technology that we've seen around the country and across the world. So, this challenge is an initiative that will help educators and students solve real world problems in their own communities or internationally using artificial intelligence solutions. So, in a sense, kind of it provides an opportunity to showcase their solutions at a national level, kind of integrating into a project, a competition, where there are prizes and different levels of things that can be showcased. And so this is kind of one step that will allow students to study and develop how to use AI tools, not only for students, but also teachers with this challenge can focus on using AI technology in the classroom to potentially help them as educators teach well and teach their students to learn and develop and really to invite technology and where it's going.
And when was this announced? How was it announced?
Yeah, so at the end of August, August 26th, the White House launched kind of a AI education task force. It's a myriad of various White House leaderships, but the two people that kind of led the meeting, they held a meeting kind of announcing the presidential AI challenge. And the two people that led the meeting were First Lady Melania Trump and Secretary of Education Linda McMahon. So in this meeting, they kind of talked about what the Trump administration's goal is to bring AI into classrooms and into communities in a creative way and not really shying away from artificial intelligence because we've seen this rise of concern from teachers and students abusing AI or ChatGPT to get ahead or to write their own papers or to plagiarize or cheat. And so this meeting, which we'll play in a second, kind of explains that we have to you know, take it one step further and actually embrace AI so that it's not as scary or, daunting as it seems. And so McMahon kind of talks about how we need to empower schools, empower these teachers to explore and learn about AI and how they can use it to their benefit. And so this is what she had to say.
ED is fully aligned with the Presidential AI Challenge and is encouraging students and educators to explore AI technologies with curiosity and with creativity. It's not one of those things to be afraid of. Let's embrace it. Let's develop AI-based solutions to real-world problems and cultivate an AI-informed, future-ready workforce. ED strongly supports the Pledge to America's Youth. We are thankful to the folks in the room today and many others who have made commitments to expand AI access and understanding across schools, very important across all over the country. And as I am touring and visiting schools of all kinds of different schools around the country, I will be looking to see how AI is being utilized and totally impressed by what I'm seeing. We are helping schools prepare every school, every child, every student for the AI-driven world.
So even though the debate continues on what people's opinions and thoughts are when it comes to artificial intelligence, the Secretary of Education is really hammering that idea of embracing it and really coming to terms with, what AI technology is and what that means for the education system. So, along with the Presidential AI Challenge, the program released a guidebook that has toolkits, webinars, and various other resources to further advance these participants and to encourage AI literacy for students as well as teachers. So, just going a little bit deeper into what the guidebook is, it kind of talks about, who is eligible. And there's really mainly three categories: middle schoolers, high schoolers, and educators, teachers, mentors, people like that. There are awards and kind of a prize system for those that participate. This timeline, it looks like it's starting now. It was launched when the meeting happened on August 26th, and it looks like it's going to go all the way until June of 2026. And so there's, it lists requirements, competition levels, how these projects will be judged. But at the end of the day, as the First Lady and the Secretary of Education says, they want to, encourage people to be curious and be creative with this project.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see where this goes. I mean, technology in the classroom has been an ongoing debate. Even this year, a lot of places have started removing cell phones from the classroom. And I know some people who work in schools where like Chromebooks are the norm. All the kids are constantly on computers. When I was a teacher, I worked at a school that was kind of the opposite end of that, where we already had no cell phones in the school and we never used Chromebooks of any kind except for when there was state testing, which was kind of a interesting moment because then we had these students. I taught fourth grade, so they're fairly young. These students who don't use technology for their education. So you had to kind of train them in on like, here's how to navigate using these computers when you're taking this test. So there's kind of, it's hard to thread that needle with education. And I feel like that's what a lot of this is about, is trying to figure out how do you thread that needle between not having the negative impacts of technology, but also incorporating the technology that we have for its benefit, but also because students still need to know how to use these technologies properly.
Yeah, exactly. And I think this initiative kind of encourages that, where you don't want to shy away from the reality of where America is and where other countries are when it comes to not only technology but just artificial intelligence, and and how it's developed really in the past like 2 to 3 years. And though it's been discouraged to use unethically, this initiative by the Trump administration, I think, is trying to blend that mindset of the education system and artificial intelligence kind of coming together to not only, teach these students how to use them in a proper and good way, but also teachers, so that they don't have to do the extra work, to train up these students on how to use it. And so once they graduate and move on into the real world with, their jobs and careers, they're not behind because they were, more morally ethical, or they tried to do the good thing. They are equipped and ready, and able to use these programs and these initiatives to further, wherever they decide to go into for their career.
Well, Esther, thank you for your insights on this story. You can keep up with this story and more at thecentersquare.com.